at 50%. And the only way to get there, to make it 50%, is to change the voting areas, which again impacts the school areas. And knowing that we're legally okay, that that we don't have to change, and it would be my desire to keep the schools, the feeder schools, together as much as possible. And the only way I can see that happening is to maintain as we are, which I believe would be called scenario 1. So that is the direction I'm headed.
Would you like to make a motion to that effect so that we...
Sure, I can make a motion that we accept scenario 1, our current status.
Okay.
I will second that motion.
All right, we have a motion and a second to accept scenario 1 as our trustee area option. I'll open it for discussion again, and I'll start with you, Anne Marie, and then I'll go this way.
I think that, thank you for watching and listening.
Absolutely.
I feel the same way. We'd love to balance out, we'd love to do that and make the CVAP, of course, because that was what the direction was, to make sure that we try to do that. But finding out that we would have to change the schools, I just feel that it wouldn't be worth it. And I'm the one that has to bear the brunt of the extra, but, I just feel at this time, if we're in compliance, and as I said before, that was the first question that I asked, were we in compliance? And we have been, so I didn't see the need to do this, but we did. And when we tried to find the variance, and we tried to find the, get up to 50%, it would change the boundaries of the school, and I'm totally against that. So I am in agreement with Mr. O'Neill.
Okay, I'll go to my right.
Okay, I expressed my opinion at the last time, and I still maintain that the whole purpose of districting was to give our people, our citizens, the opportunity, the minorities, to have the opportunity to maybe, be closer to be able to elect someone from their group. And this is not, let's say, maintaining, yes, we're okay maintaining our districts, but that doesn't satisfy the whole idea of the districts. And as far as keeping feeder schools together, I brought this out the last time. I have, to my area, 3 different schools who are not in my area, and yet they are the people, there are people in that area, in my area, that feed Western, even though it's not my school. They feed Magnolia, they feed Dale, but they're not in my school. Orange View. It doesn't matter. And like the citizens who live above my area, in your area, Brian, they go to Kennedy, but I have a lot of people that feed Kennedy, okay? I have a lot of people that feed Walker, so it doesn't really matter. To me, this was all a political thing, not keeping our feeder schools all together, because we're supposed to represent all the schools, no matter who they are. And, the only thing is the people in a certain area are the ones that vote for us, and that's all. So that's why we'll stay within that thing, but it's not evening out the voting areas as much as if we had made the change. So that's why I feel.
Thank you.
Half a dozen of one and the other, but that's what, to me, it was, the purpose of this was for people voting. And we're supposed to represent all of them, and we represent them whether they're in our area or not.
Thank you, Ms. Piercy. Ms. Smith?
Anne Marie, I could barely understand anything you said.
My apologies.
And
I concurred with Mr. O'Neill. Just put it that way.
And I did hear Brian, and I'm very comfortable with that. with scenario 1.
All right, thank you, Ms. Smith. And I want to say a few words as well. I know everybody heard what I had to say at the last board meeting. And Ms. Piercy, I don't want to belabor this conversation, but in terms of, no, I will, because you had made a comment about politics, right? So it's not about politics, it's about making sure. I think when I initially came in and asked, if I remember accurately, and if you go back and check our YouTube videos, when I brought up the issue of wanting to actually go ahead and change the scenario, I think you were comfortable with scenario 1 at that point, right? So the reason that I actually made the argument to have different options is to get to that point of trying to see if we could go ahead and create a second district, which will be a majority Latino district, which then allows them to elect their, not a Latino person, but at least the person of their choice into that district. But my primary concern was always to make sure that our feeder patterns were taken care of. And even if we don't, my only issue is in the trustee area that we're looking to kind of make the change, which is Anaheim and Sycamore, the area that I represent. If you take a look at it, there's only 2 schools in that area. And if you take a look at the attendance boundaries, majority of the attendance boundaries is within that trustee area. So I don't want to, and the reason that I was not in support of the other 2 is to show that, to make sure that our communities of interest, who are the same families who send their kids to Sycamore, who send to Anaheim, would get a trustee that they know that is their representative that they could go and advocate for. I don't think you get anybody from Anaheim in Sycamore or Anaheim area coming to Mr. O'Neill or coming to you and saying, hey, we have an issue at Anaheim High School or Sycamore Junior High. I've always consistently had Sycamore Junior High parents come in and ask, and a matter of fact, I even had a conversation yesterday and today about parent groups wanting to discuss issues. And they know who that trustee person is so that they're comfortable. And they know that that person's going to be dealing with Anaheim High School. And that's the reason that I am going to stick with scenario 1. So having said that, I could go a little bit deeper into the discussion of politics, but
Now,
I'm not.
let me ask one question, Al. Is the attendance area for Sycamore, I didn't look at this, the exact same as, in all of it in the area for Anaheim?
Yeah, if
Is
you
it
take-
all?
Right, if you take a look at the
No,
red
those are
boundary-
only high school boundaries.
Right, so if you take a look at the Sycamore area, you do get a few of them going there, but what I wanted to do was to make sure that we capture the high school area boundary as much as possible, because the
Okay, well,
families do.
all right, but
go
that's
into
the
our-
difference. It's, you're trying as much as possible, but you're not getting them all.
No,
And that's the
but if
point
I could
is,
do- if
those
I could-
people should still feel comfortable going to you, whether they are in your area to elect or not.
I think that's the issue of, the argument. I also, part of why I supported district elections is not only because we wanted to give the opportunity for a minority community elect their choice of representative, but it was also democracy in terms of grassroots democracy, where a person in that neighborhood could know their representative and go and talk about the issues. Most often, Sycamore parent issues are the same as Anaheim High School parent issues. And when they come in, they have a kid. Most often, they have a kid who's going to Sycamore and Anaheim. So, regardless, like I said, I could go more into the political topic of it, but I'm not. I'm just going to go ahead and be respectful of everybody's time.
Okay.
I know that looks like we have.
So if somebody is in, Anne Marie's area, but they're going to Sycamore, are you going to tell them I can't deal with you because
Oh, no,
you're not in
absolutely
my
not.
area? Well, that's my
Absolutely.
point.
No, I think we are still able to even go back to your initial point of we all represent everybody. I've told you that this at the last meeting. I've had parents of Cypress who come up to me and ask about issues, and
Just
I've
like I have
dealt with
parents
it.
from other high schools that come up to
Absolutely.
me.
I think that could still be done. What I am saying with this particular map, what we know is that for the past, since we adopted in 2014, parents are comfortable with the way that they know who their representative is, and they know where the boundaries lie. So I want to keep that moving forward. And because it's not making a big difference, because even to your point of saying like, well, we want to create the second point for a minority group too, it's only at 49%. You know what? In another year, you're probably going to hit 50% in that district. Plus, if you even take a look at the next closest community, which is there, it's 29%. So either way, they're at 49%. So the only point is to get it above 50%. We'll be there in about a year. So having said that, I will
I don't want to
call for
belabor the point, but
Yeah.
let's vote.
Okay, all right, well, I'll call the question. All right, all in favor of trust?
It's a roll call, isn't it?
My
Resolution.
bad, yes, it's a roll call. All right, it's a roll call. So I wanted to confirm, we have the resolution. We take the resolution and vote with a roll call vote. For the map. In one vote, okay,
We
perfect.
have to do, okay, I thought we did it separately before.
You can do it whichever way you're more comfortable with. This really is clarifying your motion for us.
Yes. that-
Okay.
We accept scenario number 1 as to fulfill their resolution.
Okay, so
Okay.
does that
And I
set?
second that.
Maybe two. That's what I was wondering. I wanted to make sure that we bifurcate it so that way we are clear. Okay, so the first one doesn't need to be a roll call vote, right, with the map itself? Okay, so all in favor of selecting scenario 1 as the choice of trustee area map, please vote aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Opposed?
Motion passes 4-1, and now we go to the resolution itself. And can I entertain a motion for the resolution,
Do we
please?
already have it on the floor?
Yeah, we're doing it, we're bifurcating it.
I know, but I thought we already had the resolution on the floor.
Oh, we had the resolution on the floor, that's right. Yes, we do, okay,
Just vote.
sorry, yeah. So we'll take the vote on the resolution itself, and Mr. O'Neill,
Aye.
Ms. Randall Trejo,
Aye.
Ms. Piercy,
Suppose I'll vote aye. I mean, no. Okay.
Ms. Smith,
Aye.
and I vote aye. Motion passes 5-0. Thank you. All right, and I'll entertain a motion for an adjournment.
Certainly.
So moves, second?
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Congratulations. Thank you very much for your time. Motion, meeting adjourned.
Okay.